Hello everyone, my name is Andrew. Thanks for checking out Hey, I'm Roland here. Today we're going to be making a curing station and a wet palette. First thing you want to do is knock your camera so it shakes everywhere. Second thing you want to do is assemble all of these items. So we'll go through them one by one. We have in front of us a deep tub, aluminum foil, parchment paper, UV light strip, adhesive spray, scissors, all-purpose cloth, a not so deep tub, water, and not pictured is a hobby knife. Alright, so get all that stuff off your working area, just push it off to the side, and we're going to start with the curing station for resin prints. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your tub, take the lid, look at it, just toss it away. We're not going to need the lid because you're going to put it face down. Next, what you're going to do is read your adhesive spray and look to see exactly what you need to do. Mine says stay about 6 to 8 inches away, spray, and immediately put it on. You don't have to wait 5 minutes or anything like that. For permanent spray, put it immediately on. If you want it to come off eventually, let it stay tacky for 5 minutes and then you put stuff on and you can peel it off. Which basically means I have to cut all of the aluminum foil to fit right now. You can see I got the Elmer's Craft brand. You can get whatever kind of brand you want. Just make sure that it is some sort of adhesive spray. So next what we're going to do is we're going to pull out the aluminum foil. You're going to pull it out, you're going to look at it, and you're going to notice that there is a weird small piece of aluminum foil under the big aluminum foil, and you're just going to not know exactly why that's there, and you're gonna have to deal with that later. So originally I'm going to just pull the sheet off and then the whole roll falls out and said screw it, let's deal with it this way. So take the whole roll out, lay it on your cutting mat, and then grab your tub, set it on there to do some measuring and eyeing. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then you're gonna grab your box cutter and say, oh, I'm gonna use my box cutter, and then say, no, I have a hobby knife for a reason. I'm gonna use my hobby knife. So grab your hobby knife and cut from the top and realize that's probably gonna tear the aluminum foil. So then cut from the bottom all the way up to the top. And then cut from the side, noticing it's probably gonna tear again, but say screw it and cut all the way to the side and connect the two cuts, and now you have a piece to go in the top of your curing station. Realize that you didn't cut all the way to one side and don't know what to do, so you pull it over and onto the cutting mat and cut the rest of the way through. There you go. Now you have a piece that will fit in the top of the curing station. So we're going to do a test fit, make sure the shiny side is out to reflect all of the light. That looks like it fits perfectly. Now give thumbs up to the camera. Don't know which way the camera is facing, so just kind of throw your thumbs around until it looks right. Now you're going to gingerly pull that out and move on to the next side. And you can use the bit that you cut off that is still there. You can realize that that's roughly about the exact same size that you need for the large side. So it's perfect to just cut down there. Hold your aluminum foil so that it doesn't bunch up while you try to cut and rip, and it'll just cut all the way through. And again, make sure you put the shiny side out, and you have a perfect fit. Gingerly pull out the piece of paper and move on to cutting the next one. You're going to make a cut here and realize, oh, that's probably going to tear. So then you're going to take the piece off because it's marked, and you're going to start cutting all the way down. And then you realize that you didn't mark for where it's supposed to end. So you just continue cutting all the way down, and you can just cut off excess afterwards, or leave it there as a cool flap, whatever you want. Alright, again, put it in, make sure that it fits, makes it look nice. Yep, that fits pretty well. And I'm just going to fold this piece over just so I know where I will have to cut eventually. And then I'm just going to move the stuff out of my way, clear some space, and I'm going to pull the roll over some more, and I realize that that's just a piece that's glued on there. And instead of getting rid of it, I'm going to crunch it up and using it as a stippling or a texture creator for some terrain and whatnot at a later date. Alright, now you're just going to do the exact same thing you did with the other ones. Continue to measure and cut until you have all the pieces for the inside. Okay, and now that you have your final cut, you're going to roll up the remaining aluminum foil and put it back into the case that is partially destroyed now. And you're going to sit here and you're going to put it in and realize that the ends are open. Now you're going to fiddle with the ends and try and get them to close, even though they won't stay closed because they're not re-glued. And you're going to have an existential crisis trying to realize that this is not going to work. And your fiance is going to kill you because you kind of broke the aluminum foil container, and you're just going to set it off to the side and say, good as new. Good as new. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're going to bring all the pieces that you cut for it up front, right beside the tub that you're going to fill in for your curing station. You're going to reread the instructions one more time, seeing that you have to spray 6 to 8 inches away. Don't let it sit. Stick it on within 15 seconds of spraying roughly if you want it to stay permanently. Then you're going to shake it up really well. Realize it says something about overspray and getting other things sticky, so you're going to move everything off of your workstation. Throw down a piece of parchment paper to catch any overspray that is going to happen. Get the tub ready and give it a spray. Alright, now we're going to grab some of the aluminum foil that we cut, and we're just going to start putting it in. So it gets a little sticky on the side, so try not to touch the sides or it'll get stuck, but it's workable enough that you can just kind of push it and move it around and not have it completely seal on you where you don't want it to be. So just start pushing things down as fast and as neatly as you can, because you only have a limited working window for this. And remember, shiny side out to be able to reflect all of the light. And then you have a lined tub for the curing. Now I'm just going to cut off some excess pieces that are sticking out that I don't really need. Looks pretty good, looks pretty reflective. So next thing we're going to do is take our lights and get ready to stick them in. I'm cutting off the piece that lets you wire it in fully instead of plugging it in. That will go at the top and it would just be a bulky piece that's not needed. So I'm just going to cut that strip off. I'm going to not toss it away. I'm actually going to keep it because you can never know when wires and nodules will come in handy for creating things. And I'm just going to look at roughly how I want it laid out. I was thinking of maybe putting something on the top and then around, but it's too stiff. The only way it would work if it would run down and across, and it would not work to have it at the top. But this is a deep enough tub, and I decided to just wrap it around and around, and with the reflection it should be fine if there's no light at the very top, because I'm not going to be making giant things, and if I am, I'm probably just going to stick them out in the sun. So if I'm doing 3D printed minis, this should cure it no problem. So now I'm looking at it and I'm decided to wrap it around, and I'm trying to lay it out in my head to where I want things to be laid and how I want it to wrap, and should I do this much centimeters apart or should I like draw out lines, and I decide, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna wing it. They're just lights, they're gonna have to cover anything anyways, so I pull off the backing and I just start going to town. Now obviously it's hard to see because we have the aluminum foil on the inside, so you can't really see me putting in many of the lights, but there's a shot near the end here where you can see me sticking the lights in all the way around, and you can see what it looks like. Alright, and that is what it looks like on the inside. It is the lights are completely adhered to it, and we have the plug sticking out the bottom, so that's why you don't need that lid, because you're going to flip it, the plug is going to stick out the bottom, and you're going to plug it in. This is the point where you realize, oh crap, I don't have my plug plugged in. I'm going to try and fumble with it, plug it in, and then I'm going to bring the cord over here and plug it in so we can see what it looks like all plugged in and ready. Alright, so you finally plug it in, and that is what it looks like plugged in. Super bright off camera. It's like, whoa, don't look in this directly. It's very bright. So I have myself a rotator that is solar powered, so I can set that in there and it will spin, and that just gives it like a 360-degree rotation of the model, so no matter what, it's getting hit except for the bottom. Obviously you don't need this, it is completely covered around. You can just set the models down, stick the thing over top of it, let it cure for however long it needs to cure for, and then maybe set it on its side and cure the bottom if you need to cure the bottom. A little curing for the bottom should be good, and then if you're gluing it onto a base, it's done. You can see the stitch there spinning around from the light from the UV lights, and I did a little paint job on a prime on him, and I'm going to do a paint job using the wet palette. As you can see, I didn't spray the bottom because no one's going to be looking at Stitch's butt. Now let's get all the stuff we need for the wet palette. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab some parchment paper, the cloth, the water, the scissors, and the tub. So first thing you want to do is you want to go over your notes to make sure that you're doing everything correctly. You're going to use the lid as the wet palette and the actual body of the tub as the lid. You're going to pull out some parchment paper to roughly the right size, and then we're going to cut it. You can obviously measure this and cut it, or you can do what I do and eye it, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, and then it kind of works. And for cutting it, you can either use your scissors or the hobby knife. I used the hobby knife because I was already using it and I got a feel for it. But you can use whatever you want. Now you're going to check your notes again, make sure you're not messing anything up. And then you're going to bust out the cloths. You're going to deliberate which color you want, which color you're feeling that day. You're going to pull all of them out and decide, yeah, pink's pretty good, or blue, or yellow, whatever you want. Now you're going to set the parchment paper on top of it and use it as a guide to cut the cloth. This I'm keeping 2 pieces thick, just so it's a little bit thicker and can hold more water and just stay moist for a little bit longer in the top of the container without being too big. Alright, now you're going to put the piece in, just see what needs trimmed off to make it fit better. Realize that you can probably cut all 4 corners off to make it fit better because it is a little bit round. Looks great. Now you're going to pour some water on top of it to saturate it and keep it wet. So pour some in, feel it around, think, hey, maybe I can move this with the fingers. Realize you definitely cannot move the water with your fingers. So just want to soak that whole thing up, but not too wet. Otherwise your paints will be really runny that you keep in there. Alright, so looks like the cloth is fully saturated. Nice enough to be wet that it will stick down the piece of parchment paper. Then you want to put the lid on the spray bottle you're using. Realize that's probably the toughest thing you've done for this whole thing, is to get the lid to sit correctly, and then stick your parchment paper on top of that. Now give it a little press to have the water seal it and soak it down so it doesn't start to roll up. And there you go. You have yourself a wet palette. You can throw some paint on there. Keep the paint usable for a long time as long as you put the lid on top of it. And that's how you put the lid on. Take the lid off. Nice and moist, and you have yourself a working wet palette. So there you go, that's how you make a wet palette and a curing station for resin prints. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, comment, share, whatever you want to do. Please stick around for more videos like this. I've just recently got interested in terrain and diorama building, so I'll make some interesting videos on that as well. But until I see you next time, keep it real.